Is Edie on, Ruth?
No, I don't think she joined, Les.
Okay. Seeing it's 6 o'clock, we'll start the meeting there. Whereas there's a quorum of council present and a time at 6 p.m., be it resolved that this regular meeting be open for business via Zoom, and that the minutes of the regular meeting of February the 9th, 2022 be approved. And further, that in accordance with section 228-4 of the Municipal Act 2001, as amended, Ann Whaling is hereby appointed as acting clerk for the purpose of this meeting. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
I'll move that, Les.
Okay,
Dale will move it there. Seconder?
I'll second Kevin.
Kevin will second. Kevin, for or against?
I'm for.
Edith's not here. Pat?
Pat in favor.
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl?
In favor.
Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried. Before we start the public meeting there, and I'd like to make a comment there, what's going on there on behalf of some people there. I apologize to all people, especially the Indigenous nations, for what happened. Young people at this party were partying, and my grandson was one of them. My grandson and some of the young people that attended the party have Indigenous background. Some of these young people are being threatened. Their jobs are at stake for just being at this party, and that is not right. Apologies were made for their actions. Some of these people wanted to go to the walk that was held recently, but with what is being posted on social media, some people couldn't handle the pressure and the stress and stayed away. This apology letter from my grandson went to Sagamok Essenobik, and he requested that it be shared with all Indigenous nations, which I'm going to read and also give Ann Whalen a copy in the morning as well as others.
I don't know if that's appropriate at this time, is it? I don't think that's meant for a council meeting, really. That should be something between him and the Indigenous people and the people he offended. I don't think that's the place for it at a council meeting. I'm sorry.
Is that the feeling in the rest of the people?
We can
Yeah.
make a statement, but I don't think it should be from councilors, not on a personal level.
Yes. As chair of the meeting, Mayor Gamble, you are to chair the meeting as per our agreement. And so having a personal statement read, I feel is not in the correct manner to be presented at a council meeting. I do agree that and acknowledge that the statement needs to be made, but it is not appropriate to be made at this meeting.
I agree with what Cheryl said. That,
Okay, I got a resolution here. Whereas, I'll read it there and see if you want to agree with it or disagree. Whereas council acknowledges that there is a great need for reconciliation in our township, and that does not come from shared economic development or shared recreation. It comes from acknowledgement, respect, understanding, and fellowship with our Indigenous neighbors. And that it is not always necessary for us to commit and direct the narrative. Instead, we must learn to listen and accept. We as council acknowledge the past and the present environment in this regard and provide some leadership for our community to learn and respect, to help the healing for a healthy and strong relationship among all other people. Does anybody want to comment, or do you want to move it and second it?
I have no comments, and I'll move that it be accepted.
Pat will move it there, seconder.
I will second it.
Kevin will second it.
Yes.
For or against, Kevin, or
I'm for that.
Edith, you on yet?
Yes, I am, and I'm for.
Pat,
Pat in favor?
Glenda,
In favor.
Cheryl,
In favor.
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried. Okay. We should now hold a public meeting pursuant to Section 34 of the Planning Act to consider proposed zoning bylaw amendments. The council meeting is now adjourned for the purpose of a public meeting. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
I'll move it.
I'll
Glenda.
second it. Dale.
Yes. Kevin, for or against?
I'm for it.
Edith?
In favor?
Pat?
Pat in favor?
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl?
In favor.
Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried. Be it resolved that pursuant to Section 34 of the Planning Act, the public meeting is now officially open for the purpose of hearing comments regarding a proposed amendment to the zoning bylaw of the Township of Sables-Spanish Rivers as follows. File number ZBA 22-01 is applied for Patricia and Pauline Pettersham for the property in Gow Township, Plan 53R-10503, Part 3, Parcel 17507, SR1 AB 175 at 601 West Branch Road. File number ZBA 22-02 as applied for by Derek and Tanya Cahoon for the property in Victoria Township, Section 18, Plan 53R-14759, Part 3 and 5 and 6, Parcels 118 or 18-4-8 at 20 Bass Lake Road. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
I'll move it.
Dale
Edie will
will move it.
second.
What are we moving for?
To hear this application or,
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
okay. We got a mover and a seconder. Kevin, you're for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor?
Pat,
Pat in favor?
Glenda,
In favor.
Cheryl,
In favor.
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried. Advise there and as the method by which the notice of the meeting was given and the dates that the notice were given.
This notice of this public meeting was advertised on February 1st, 2022 in the Roundabout and was circulated in the various prescribed agencies and landowners within 120 meters.
Can you explain both these applications there, please?
Sure, and if we're going to start with file number 2201, Petroshan on West Branch. Patricia, I see you're in the audience, if you want to speak at all, just raise your hand and we can unmute you. But I'll start. So this application was received for property located at 601 West Branch Road. The applicant is proposing to build a new seasonal dwelling in the same location as the current building. However, the gross floor area will be increased. They are therefore requesting a reduced setback from a water body. The zoning bylaw requires a 30-meter setback, and they are proposing a reduced setback of 22.25 meters. The terrain of the lot includes a ravine, which allows water to flow to the west side of the property. It does not allow the proposed new building to be moved back and meet the 30-meter setback. Location of the new seasonal dwelling will be no closer than the existing building and will be in alignment with structures on neighboring properties. The new seasonal dwelling will include a septic system, which will meet the required setback. The current seasonal dwelling is not connected to a septic system, so this will be an improvement. The official plan, it conforms to the official plan. And for zoning, just with the front yard shoreline setback is that 30-meter requirement is what they are requesting relief from. Anybody have
Are
any?
there any, in
ahead.
regards to this application, are there any persons present who wish to make oral or written submissions on the proposal bylaw? Please give your name and address and bylaw file number to the clerk. Hearing none. Has anybody got any concerns in regards to this application there?
I just wanted to ask one question, Les. I just wanted to ask about high water, that's all. Spring runoff.
I don't think there's an effect that they own the 66 foot shoreline allowance. And
Okay,
there's an additional distance between that and the water's edge, the normal water's edge. So there's not a concern in that regard.
thank you, Ann.
Any other concerns, anybody? Carry on, Ann, please.
Okay, so file number 2202, Cahoon on Bass Point Road. This application is for, the applicant is proposing to build a new seasonal dwelling, which will replace a travel trailer and be connected to an existing septic system. They're therefore requesting a reduced setback from a water body. Zoning bylaw requires 30-meter setback, and they are proposing a reduced setback of 20 meters. The terrain of the lot includes a rock outcropping. It does not allow the proposed new building to be moved back to meet the 30-meter setback. The easterly portion of the property has a creek which allows water to flow through the property towards Tube Lake. That area also has an easement for access to an adjoining property. Proposed location of the residence is the flattest area on the lot and will mitigate or possibly eliminate the need for blasting to achieve the 30-meter setback. The official plan, the permitted use conforms to official plan and as well as the zoning. So the relief is for that 30-meter setback.
Any questions, anybody there? When you're dealing with Agnew there or this there, there's pretty well no place you can move your building if you're planning on building a larger house or building whatever you're planning on doing. So they're pretty well stuck there.
Well, what it says here, though, the original lot plan was developed based on a 20-meter setback prior to the change of bylaws, so they had good intentions in mind.
Yes, but that's the trouble that we're having there with no matter which water body you're looking at there.
I
So
mean,
their
as
previous
long
septic
as-
system, is it new or old, or has it been on there a long time? You know,
It's been
That
there a
would be
number of
my-
years. Yeah, it's been there.
Okay.
It's pre-existing. The previous owner had installed it.
okay.
So it was done to specification then,
At that time, yes.
That's what I wanted to know.
which is when?
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
sure what I mean, if Mr. Cahoon wanted to speak to that, he's in the audience, we could unmute him.
Okay,
We'll just give him a chance here to jump in if you'd like.
There you go, Derek.
Oh. Yeah, the septic system was put in by previous owner, Tim Reed. I believe it's probably 8 or 9 years. I have all the documentation and the sign off from public health.
so
From the
it's
Sudbury
right up.
District Health.
Yeah. it's
Thank
right
you for
up.
that information.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions there for the young gentleman? Hearing none there, we can move on there.
Yeah.
And anything else you want to add there?
No, that's it for those two files. So we can close the public meeting.
That the public meeting is now officially closed and the council meeting is reconvened. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
I'll move, Kevin.
Kevin will move it there. Seconder?
Pat will second.
Pat will second it there. Kevin, for or against?
In favor.
Edith?
She's muted, so you'll have to unmute her.
Oh. He doesn't know. Yeah.
In favor?
Okay, Pat,
In favor.
Linda,
In favor.
Cheryl,
Oh, she did it too.
And Dale, you for or against?
I am in favor. Cheryl's muted there right now, Les, so you'll just have to wait a minute. There, Cheryl's unmuted now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, why I got unmuted all of a sudden, but that's okay.
Cheryl, you for or against this?
I am for.
Okay, motion carried. Okay, whereas council is satisfied that the notes were given in accordance with the Planning Act respecting zoning bylaw amendment file number 22-01 is applied for by Patricia and Pauline Petria for the property in Gow Township Plan 53R 19503, Part 3, Parcel 17507, SRL AB 175 at 601 West Branch Road. And whereas sufficient information has been made available for the public to understand generally the zoning proposal being considered, be it resolved after due consideration of the proposed bylaw has been given and council hereby concludes that its application shall be approved effective of the public submissions. None received. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Cheryl move.
Cheryl.
I'll second it.
Dale will second it. Kevin, for or against?
I'm for.
Edith,
In favor?
Pat,
Pat in favor.
Linda,
In favor.
Cheryl,
In favor.
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried. Okay, whereas council is satisfied the notes were given in accordance with the Planning Act respecting zoning bylaw amendment file number 22-02 is applied for by Derek and Tanya Calhoun for the property in Victoria Township, Section 18, Plan 53R-14759, parts of 3, 5, and 6, parcel 18-4-8 at 20 Bass Lake Road. And whereas sufficient information has been made available for the public to understand generally the zoning proposal being considered, be it resolved that due consideration of the proposed bylaw has been given and council hereby concludes that this application shall be approved effective of the public submissions. And there was none received. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Pat will
I'll
move.
move.
Pat will move it there. Seconder?
Glenda.
Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith?
In favor?
Pat?
Pat in favor.
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl?
In favor.
Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried. Be it resolved, the following bylaws be read a first and second time. Bylaw 2022-11 being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw for the property in Gow Township. Bylaw 2022 being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw for the property in Victoria Township. A mover and a seconder?
I'll move, Kevin.
Kevin will move it. Seconder?
Gail.
Dale will move it there. Kevin,
I'll second
for or
it.
against?
I'm in favor.
Edith?
In favor?
Pat?
Pat in favor.
Linda?
In favor.
Cheryl?
In favor.
Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried. Be it resolved, the following bylaws be read a third and final time and passed in open council. Bylaw 2022-11 being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw for the property in Gown Township. Bylaw 2022-12 being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw for the property in Victoria Township. Mover and a seconder?
Edie will move.
Edie will move it there. Seconder?
Glenda.
Pat will-
Glenda will second it. Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith?
In favor?
Pat?
Pat in favor.
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl?
In favor.
Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried. Okay, in regards to consent agenda there. Be it resolved that items G1 contained in the consent agenda be adopted. Anybody got any concerns or
Oh, gee.
hearing none there? Can I have a mover and a seconder?
I'll move that.
Kevin will move it there.
Yeah.
Seconder,
Pat second.
Pat will second it. Kevin, for or against?
I'm for it.
Edith,
In favor?
Pat,
Pat in favor.
Linda,
In favor?
Cheryl,
In favor?
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried. In regards to electronic meetings there, Ann, you want to fill us in there, please?
So this is just an addendum to the schedule of the protocols for meeting etiquette, electronic participation. Originally, they just spoke to council's participation, but we just need to be sure that people aren't not hijacking the meeting, but really that the protocol for meetings is followed. So you noticed, some of you that came in, once you muted yourself, you weren't able to unmute, and that's how, so the audience is all muted. If anybody needs to, wants to talk, or they're to raise their hand, and then the chair of the meeting will acknowledge that and we will unmute. So this is just to put that into our policy, that how we will continue with our electronic meetings.
Okay.
Any concern, anybody, or?
No, I think this is an excellent idea.
Well, my only concern is that somebody who's only connected via telephone doesn't have the opportunity to make it known that they wish to speak. So, and I know the delegation is not supposed to speak unless it was set up beforehand, but it would be nice if we had some way of, perhaps at the end of the meeting, we can unmute everybody and ask if anybody has anything to comment on.
Can they send you a message though, Anne, through the chat? Under the more button, there's a chat option to say, I wish to speak.
There is, but I'm not sure, like Kevin's saying, when you call in, I don't know how that works. So, I
Okay.
mean, it's not
Yeah.
very often we have that, but, I mean, it's just to kind of keep some control over the meeting and
Yeah,
proper.
I agree,
I
100%.
agree.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm just a little concerned if somebody's participating via telephone, but
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll deal with that.
Yeah, I think we can, as a case by case, yeah.
But
Yeah.
they can always contact the office the next day maybe and say, I would like to, or they can get on to the next meeting and state their
Well,
case.
usually, if they call into a Zoom meeting, all you see is a phone number.
Yeah,
And so,
but I'm saying they can report it the next day if they didn't get a chance to say their piece, they can,
Yeah. yeah, but that being said, if it's a phone number, we can always pull them later in the meeting and say, have you got
Yeah.
anything you'd like to add?
That's right.
I don't imagine it's gonna happen that often, but it's important for everybody to be able to.
Yeah, it's
I
not
believe
to,
that
it's
would
not
be
to
good.
stop people from participating. It's just to keep control of the meeting.
Well, I understand.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Okay, I'll read the resolution. Be it resolved that attached process procedure be added to the protocols for the meeting's electronic participation as set out in Schedule A of the bylaw 2021-10. A mover and a seconder.
I'll move it.
Kevin will move it there.
Yeah.
Pat will second.
Pat will second it. Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor?
Pat,
Pat in favor.
Linda,
In favor?
Cheryl,
in favor?
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried.
I think we should have an addendum to that though, about the phone calls. Maybe we
Yeah.
should do a little research and find out about that,
I'll make a note of that,
Just so
yes.
that we allow
Good
people
idea. Yeah.
to participate.
We can do a test here with the staff and see how it works and what can be done.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And I think most people who have a phone, they could go onto Zoom anyway, if they really want.
Yeah, they can call in by Zoom, but.
Yeah,
they
but
still-
some people even call in with landlines. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In DSAB meetings, it's like, you know, it shows up as a phone number. And so whoever's hosting the meeting will want to identify that phone number and speak to the participant. And at that point, you know, we'll offer them the chance to speak at the end of the meeting or something, you know?
Okay,
Anyway,
Just wait.
see what our options are.
Ruth, in regards to the tax roll rate officer, do you want to comment there on it, or?
Sure, this is our normal procedure for our uncollectible invoices. So the first one was illegal dumping, that we were able to identify the individual. So we invoiced them, and at this point I have exhausted all my collection efforts, and then we have our opportunity to add this to the tax roll. The second invoice, that one is, I was informed by the bylaw enforcement officer, we did try to invoice an individual. We thought we had tracked down the person. He couldn't go any further in the investigation, and he's considering that uncollectible. So being that it's over $500, I do need council's authorization to go ahead and write that off. So if there's any other questions about that.
Hearing none there. Be it resolved that pursuant to the accounts receivable and collection policy, the treasurer is authorized to add the following accounts receivable to the tax roll to be collected in like manner as taxes with priority lien status. Invoice number 2120 dated the 9th day of the 7th month of 2021. Description: garbage removal from the Chutes landfill. Amount $2,130.86. Roll number 000-010-07900-000. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Pat will move.
Pat will move it there. Seconder?
I'll second.
Kevin will seconder. Kevin, you're for, against?
I'm in favor.
Edith?
In favor?
Pat?
Pat in favor.
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl?
In favor?
Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried. Ruth, when they go to that garbage, are they checking for just many names, or are they just going after the one name that they find?
No, if there's multiple names, he investigates that.
Okay,
And
good.
then and a decision is made to add it, you know, who we're going to invoice, or sometimes it's both.
Okay, perfect there. Be it resolved, the treasurer be authorized to write off the following amounts as uncollectible accounts receivable. Invoice number 2142 dated the 11th day of the 1821 there. Description: garbage removal from behind the Master Fairgrounds. Amount to be written off $537.97. A mover and a seconder?
I'll move, Glenda.
Seconder?
Pat will second.
Pat will second it. Kevin, for, against?
I'm in favor.
Edith?
In favor?
Pat?
Pat in favor.
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl?
In favor?
Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried. Statement of accounts for remuneration expenses there, Ruth there. It's pretty well straightforward.
That's right, kind of a housekeeping item. We do it every year. We're legislated, I'm legislated to report on that on or before March 31st. So this is the 2021 remuneration expenses paid to council in that year. So if anybody has any concerns or questions. But pretty, like Les said, pretty straightforward.
Okay, be it resolved, the council receives the treasurer's annual statement of council remuneration expenses paid in 2021 for the public record as required under section 284 of the Municipal Act 2001. A mover and a seconder?
Cheryl
will-
move. Oh, sorry.
Pat will move.
Pat will move it and Cheryl will second it. Kevin,
Yes.
for, against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor?
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Linda,
In favor.
Cheryl,
In favor?
Dale,
I'm in favor.
motion carried. In regards to the DSAB apportionment of cost there, any comment there?
I'd just like to say that the only group that's gonna benefit from this reapportionment is Espanola.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a preliminary apportionment that showed us receiving some benefit, and that was no one was in favor of that. And then they came out with a second version of the reapportionment, and you know, Espanola is the only one that's going to benefit. We're all going to pay more, and so this had to be brought to council, be reviewed and sent back to DSAB before we can make a final decision on that. So
Yeah, because it's a double majority vote there.
yes, and so you know, it's.
Well, I have a problem with it there because everybody's getting their UMP grant there and your UMP grant is tied to your power dams. So
Yeah, there's, I mean, there wasn't anybody other than the Espanola people, there wasn't much support for it on the District Social Services Board. So.
I don't think other municipalities in the district are in favor. of it either.
No, you're not gonna see that.
No.
And so the status quo, and that's what, you know, that's what the clerks recommended here as well, so.
Yeah.
because this is being brought forward there a couple of times there, I think there now.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, it's in the hands of the legal system, I think. So we'll see. We'll see
Okay.
what happens. We have to back up our District Social Services Board on this, so.
Okay, be it resolved, the Council of Township of Sables-Spanish Rivers does not consent to a change in the cost apportionment formula from the current formula to the proposed formula shown in Table 3 of the Municipal Tax Equity Consultant dated December the 2021 for the year 2023, provided that the legal proceedings is satisfactory result. A mover and a seconder.
I will
Kevin will
move.
move. Kevin will move it there. Seconder.
Edie?
Edith. Kevin for, against.
I'm in favor.
Edith.
In favor?
Pat.
Pat's in favor.
Glenda.
In favor.
Cheryl.
In favor?
Dale.
In favor.
Motion carried. There's only 3 of us with power dams there, us and Naren
Yeah.
and Espinal
Yeah,
affected with this.
but I mean, us and Naren won't even really benefit from it. It's like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's a tax grab. That's what they're trying to do, you know, so. Anyway, that's that. We've endorsed it. We'll be dealing with it at DSAB tomorrow, so.
Yeah, they granted me a little bit of an extension to get our resolution back to them.
Okay,
Yeah, they requested it for the 22nd, but I said, can we do it after a meeting? So I'll send it off first thing in the morning.
That's good.
Thank you.
yeah. And you want to comment in regards to correspondence from Mr. Burke there?
Well, I think he'd like council to discuss it.
Can hardly hear you, Ann. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think Mr. Burke wanted council to discuss the decision council made in appointing the clerk on her retirement. So if council wants to address his letter to him. I see he's in the audience.
I can comment on that. Dennis called me and addressed the issue that we had not advertised outside of township employees to replace our clerk. And I mean, I did discuss the fact that you know, we put a lot of stock in succession training, and that our assistant clerk is suited for the position. And I mean, I believe in promoting from within, but another issue that's come up as well that's related to this is should our assistant clerk, which shall be promoted to clerk, retire, what kind of shape are we in for succession at that point? And so instead of just hiring from the bottom, maybe we should look at bringing somebody experienced in, perhaps not as a clerk, perhaps as an assistant clerk. And then maybe we just want to leave it alone. It's up to council, you know.
Or we can also just post the job at least 2 years before, because it takes a lot of interviews and other stuff to deal with. We dealt with this with Public Works a couple of times.
Yes.
And it takes a long time, and people come from all over the province. So we need to allow at least 2 years if we're going to start to post that job as an RFP.
You mean for assistant clerk, you're
Yes.
talking? Yeah.
Life changes quite a bit inside of 2 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time for me. I would like to comment on Dennis Burke's letter. And I did speak with him on the telephone. He was the third ratepayer that said to me, that's not fair. So I'm thinking that in the future, from here on in, we should post these jobs. We don't have many jobs in our community that we can offer, and we should be looking out for getting the best person possible. We should be looking for people within our township. And I think it's only fair to the ratepayers that any job that comes up be posted, and perhaps it still would have ended up the way it is right now. But at least that way it gives everybody a fair chance. I think that was what Dennis's point was.
So where do we go from here?
I can make a motion on that. You want to read?
I'm going to comment on this. I did read the correspondence from Dennis, and I understand his concerns. What my take on this is usually any organizations usually do internal postings initially, and if there is no person that is willing to accept that, then they go with external postings. However, as you stated, Dale, that, you know, or other counselors, you know, within even 2 years, you know, if someone decides to retire, and Pat said as well, we don't have that person to move into that position. So I think it is also a good idea to post for an assistant clerk and get a succession planning on board for all positions, actually, you know.
Yeah, we should have a plan. And I personally think if we're gonna post for an assistant clerk, we do it now. Start looking, because, you know, a lot of our staff is young. I don't know what the experience is in the office at this point in time, and whether anybody would be ready to step in as a clerk if need be. And we need to have that. We need to have that flexibility. We've been lucky to have Anne all these years that can step in when Kim is gone. We need somebody like that. So that's my spin on it.
That's why I said that when we did a public works hire, it took a long time because of
Yeah.
all, you can't just do interviews like week after week after week. It takes time for people to make arrangements to get here. And it was a very long, drawn out process. And that's why I'm saying that, like Dale says that 2 years is too long, but then, you know, you make all your decisions and then you have a year for that person to train.
Right, and I mean, they're ready in 2 years, basically.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait 2 years
Okay,
I want to
now,
start looking now. Dale?
we're dealing with Dennis Burke's letter.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that states that in the future, we post any job that becomes available. And it doesn't mean that anybody different will get the job, but that means that it's fair that everybody, the ratepayers are the people that own this company. So that way the ratepayers get a chance perhaps to bid on it or mention it to a relative or a friend from outside of the township. But I think for transparency, it wouldn't hurt us at all to say that from here on in, we will post any jobs that become open. I think that's basically what Mr. Burke and the other couple of people wanted that called me.
I'd like to add to that. I would also say that when that happens and there is contact made, that there is a clear description of the job position so that you just don't have like a barrage of people applying. So I don't know specifically if you have detailed job descriptions there at the municipal office at this time, but I think it would be a good idea to have that in place so that when you do get applications in, that they are specific and you are able to weed out who doesn't qualify.
Yeah, we definitely need to have a good job description. We're still
Yes.
gonna get a barrage of, believe me, I hired 2 different CEOs for the library, and boy, I got a real range of people that weren't at all qualified. But anyway, yes, perfectly stated. We need a good job description, and we'll put it out there to see who's interested in applying. And I'm in favor of that. You know, I'll move that motion.
I'll second.
Dale, Dale, do you want to put that forward there tonight, or do you want staff to write it up there and then we'll go from there, or what do you want to do?
It'll be more convenient for staff to write it up, Les.
Okay, perfect.
Fair enough.
And am I allowed, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask you, but do you have an actual job description or you just do everything? You know what I mean? Like, is there an actual?
Yes.
I know with the
position has-
development from the town of Massey and the township and it all got amalgamated, did you actually have job descriptions for clerk and assistant? You know?
Yes, there's a job description for the clerk administrator, one for clerk's assistant, one for the accounting clerk, one for the treasurer. Every, even the public works, the laborers, operators, everybody that has a job here has a job description.
I assume so, but I just wanted to clarify that we do actually have something to go by.
Yes, there is.
Thank you.
And with all the people moving in this municipality, we don't know what is out there, so it's good to give
Sure.
everybody a chance there.
Yeah, transparency.
Hey,
Ben?
Ann and Ruth, do you see we have a phone number here? So that's what happens when somebody calls in, you know?
I
Yep.
think like
Person's
you said,
name was
like,
there.
maybe-
That person's name was there earlier.
Well, was it, or did it just move?
No, it's
I think we've got an extra guest in there now.
Yeah, we do, yeah. So that, at that point, yeah, you've got to identify them, and if so that's an example there. Anyway, I don't mean to hold the meeting up, sorry.
Okay, management of abandoned aggregate, and there's people in the municipality got letters there. Where is that coming from and who started it?
So it's through the, it's partnered with Ontario Aggregate Resources. So all that money that gets collected by the Aggregate Resources program, I guess has been, this is available for this program to continue to come and rehabilitate pits that have not been used. So they've reached out to anybody that has an inactive pit, and the option to have it rehabilitated at no cost is there. You can revoke your permission at any time. We can say, yes, we're interested. And then if down the road that you change your mind, you have the option to pull out again.
Yeah, because some of these pits are 40 years old there and there's trees growing up there. So why disturb the
So
what's
like
already
this,
there?
so this is for the one right at between the tracks and the highway, right
I realize
downtown.
that.
So, I mean, if council is interested, we can.
Is this a government entity doing
Yeah.
this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Free,
Yes.
right? It's no cost.
There's no
Well,
cost.
It's no cost, but you're actually tampering with the environment.
Yeah, you're disturbing why
And
disturb it if
so
you don't have
Well,
to?
they rehabilitate it, so they don't. It's to put it back to either, like in some cases, it might be farmland. It could be forest. It's hard to say. I think they come up with a plan of what is best for that site to encourage, back to a natural state rather than just a big open pit.
So is there an environmental assessment that goes with it?
I'm not sure. I can get more. They did send a little brochure with it. So it looks like they do grading and stabilizing slopes to make them safer, grading and seeding sites for agriculture, pasture, or recreation, and creating and enhancing wildlife habitat by planting native trees, shrubs, wild flowers, and grasses.
I do think it's a matter of safety. I mean, there's a lot of abandoned pits and people do get hurt, and even worse than that. And this is an idea. I don't think it's about making the land pretty. I think it's about making it safe, because there's a lot of places you can fall down and nobody will ever find you. So I think this is a good idea.
Yeah, I'll add to that, Dale. There's there on Birch Lake Road, there's a pit that we used to call it the Browse Pit, because Terry Browse used to own it. And it was a dangerous area, and they finally came after several years and redid the whole pit, so it's now safe. There's no overhangs for people to get buried in and all that kind of stuff. It's a very safe site now. They sloped all of the wall areas of the pit so that it's no longer a danger to people to get buried in there.
But Pat, the trouble is they didn't seed it down there. And if there's any chance of a wind there, the neighbors are going to complain. So that's what my concern is there.
Well, I thought there was rehabilitation involved with this.
Yeah, but some that's being done there have not seen it there.
Well, this looks brand new to me. I don't know.
I'm wondering what's in it for these guys, though. Like, there's no cost to anybody. So what's the catch here?
Well, the money is being collected from pits that are active right now. All of those people pay into a fund with an active pit. So that's where this money comes from.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
The license
Is there any
fees and the-
possibility of other than a brochure, of an actual presentation from somebody so we can understand this better?
I'd like some more information.
What I'm not sure what you were sent in exactly. You were sent in your package. Did you get the copy of the agreement as well?
We got a brochure and
Okay.
with some colored pictures, and then we got a management of abandoned aggregate properties program, a letter from, well, it's addressed to the landowner.
Okay.
And again, it's insisting on full funding. A few pictures of before and after. And I think this is an example. Well, it talks about one in Salter Township here, so maybe our people put that in there. I'm not sure.
That's the one. No, that's the one that
The one they're talking about.
pit that they're talking about for the specific to us.
So do we still use that area for a snow dump?
Part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. But I would want to ask more questions from them, get some more information from them.
Sure.
Personally.
Yeah. So would I. I mean, it's a good idea. It's making it safe and perhaps beautifying or regreening. but I want more information. I want to know what they're
Okay.
gonna do and
Yeah, like, will we be privy to what their plans are?
yeah, and what the environmental implications are.
Well, the thing is, it's not only council, it's like the public that need to have kind of an idea and a presentation, you know.
Mhm.
They can give us all the brochures and whatever they want, but if the ratepayers aren't aware of what's going on, then there's going to be a lot of questions and there's going to be a lot of issues happening. So I believe this is more, I think we need more public input on this.
Sure. There's a number I can call. I can get some more information for you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Ann.
And find out if there's any cost in the future and too there.
Okay.
Well, this is great for the private landowner that can't afford to encompass that abandoned pit with a fence or some type of obstacle to keep people out. So I hope this looks as good as it is here right now.
Yeah. Or it turns out to be as good as it looks.
Yeah, I agree. I just think there needs to be more information put out.
Okay, in regards to the Radon Kit challenge there, Ann, you want to fill us in there?
So Kim received a call from the health unit and they have this program that they're working on in coordination with the Take Action on Radon. They want to see if we were interested in receiving approximately 100 radon test kits. It will take place in the fall, and it's not just hand them out, but there is some management of the kits and who gets them and the return. So if council is interested, we can take part in that program.
Yes, by all means.
I think that's a good idea.
It follows up on what we started in the last few years and
Yeah, over by the clinic.
Yeah.
And it says this is supported by Health Canada.
Well,
This-
radon, it's a federal, because it's a radioactive, it's federal. So yeah, that's great. I was really happy to see that. I think we'd like to participate. I mean,
I agree.
100 test kits, like you mentioned, managing it, is that going to be a challenge at the office, or, you know?
I mean, it can't, I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of activity. I think it's recording who gets them and making sure that, you know, they come back and they've been the time that they need to be. So, I mean, we can make.
Well, I mean,
So
I
are they
would-
going to supply you with supportive documentation so that you can keep track of this stuff? Like, you know,
I think this is in the preliminary stages, so I think they're just want to kind of get a feel for who's interested, and then the program will roll out.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Even if it would require a bit of additional administration on our part, I'd be willing to hire somebody to help push this through, because it's a problem in the town of Massey for sure that I know of, and it's a very big health hazard. Like, it's the second leading cause of lung cancer in the world. So
And there's people on the north side of the track would like to know what their condition is as well.
yeah, absolutely. The more awareness we can have for that, the better.
Okay, be it resolved to agree to participate in the 100 Radon Test Kit Challenge through the Take Action on Radon program. A mover and a seconder.
I'll
Kevin
move
will
that.
move it there.
Yes,
Gail will second it.
Yeah.
Kevin for against.
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor.
Pat,
In favor.
Glenda,
In favor.
Cheryl,
In favor.
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried.
I see it talks about a liaison as well. I wonder if that would interest Mr. Alan Swartz, who's taken a pretty big lead on finding out what the quantities of radon are in the vicinity of his place.
That would be, I think Alan would fit right in. Of course, that would be his choice, but yeah, good idea.
In regards to Ontario Land Tribunal there, it was on the council agenda there at the last meeting there, and there was a couple councillors not present there. Any comment there tonight?
I'm not in favor of eliminating the land tribunal. It's
Me
another
either.
avenue. it's another avenue of appeal for somebody that's not happy with a zoning application and I don't think, we should be trying to expand avenues of appeal for people instead of closing doors. My opinion.
I agree.
I agree that the taxpayers should have another avenue. It is a democracy, much to some people's chagrin. But
Yeah, tell me
it
about it.
is, it's nice that they have more than one avenue, like maybe,
Yeah.
there is.
Also, yeah,
Yeah.
also that's someone on the outside looking in that will look
Right.
at our decision and decide, and it's, a fresh set of eyes on something can change the way you look at things, so.
Well put, Kevin.
Yeah, I agree. They're neutral, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway.
be it resolved, the Township of Sables-Spanish Rivers declines to join in a petition calling for dissolution of the Ontario Land Tribunal as lobbied for by Tom Marcus, Mayor of Town of Aurora. A mover and a seconder?
Glenda will move.
Glenda, move it.
Cheryl second.
Cheryl, seconded there. Kevin, for, against?
I'm in favor.
Edith?
In favor.
Pat?
Against.
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl?
In favor.
And Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried. And you got anything else for tonight there?
I do not.
Anybody else there got anything there to?
I got one thing. I spoke to Kim last week, I believe it was, and she said that she turned that water power inquiry over to Ann. I'm just wondering, maybe there hasn't been enough time though for you to receive any correspondence, Ann, I don't know.
Sorry, Dale. Yes, I was part of a Zoom webinar a week ago, and the power dams that they're talking about right now are way north. There's nothing close by here that they're looking at working on. So that's a little more information from what we had before. So they're talking like way northern Ontario,
So,
Thunder Bay across that sort of.
Northwestern then, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all from north of Sudbury, way up there, any power dams.
so that that icon that we saw on that map, that little black and white map, was what's already existing, and I was led to believe that it was a site that was possible for us to have a water power system. So,
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're doing anything this area.
okay. Thank you.
Dale was one time there going ahead, and Farquhar got so much opposition there, it just come to a dead stop.
I see. Well, it's definitely a good thing, and we've got so much running water here. It's too bad we couldn't harness some of that electricity that's flowing past us every day. I wonder if there's somebody out there that can take a peek. Is there anybody in that specialty business that could give us a little bit of a heads up in case this water power firm that we joined up as members, maybe they're unaware of a spot or something? Does that make any sense?
I think the park boundary there takes that in there now. Do they not, Ann?
I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about the that water power
Yeah.
organization.
I did speak to a representative from Brookfield, but that's probably before I got on council, and the representative stated that there was a man that had since passed on, but he did all the investigations and he had the procedure down to an art, so he was very successful in a timely manner of getting approvals for installations, and then it was just a matter of the area, the towns or cities to find the money to do it. So it's, maybe we'll just have to keep our eyes open, I suppose.
Yeah, because there's one out in Birch Lake there that could be made into a power dam.
Maybe we should try to bring that forward, Les. Maybe we
We
should.
tried. We tried, We tried and tried with the MNRF to make a deal with them, and they do not have anything to do with us.
Well, maybe we should try again. You know how things do change in government. It wouldn't hurt to try, at least then we're due diligence on it.
Guess it powered there before there, so it should be able to work again there if they put it back in.
Yeah, used to power all the Webwood.
Yeah.
Could we look into that, Ann? Without too much difficulty, just to see what's going on? Maybe we can make contact with somebody.
Okay, Ann will take a peek there and see there. Okay, be it resolved that the time is 7 PM and this meeting be adjourned till the next regular meeting with the call of the chair. Mover and a seconder?
Just before we finish, if I could say one more thing.
Yeah.
Last Friday, Councillor Rivers and I took part in the Walk for Reconciliation. And it was very powerful to walk with our neighbors and take it all in. We need to do more of that. We need to be involved. We need to listen. And I'd like to see more of that. We need to open communication with our neighbors and keep the communication open. So
I think by attending, it really strengthened the path between us again, and
Yeah.
you know, brought it back into the light where it needs to be. And yeah, and just acknowledging the fact that this needs to be continued is a great thing.
And thank you for going, for those of us that had work commitments that couldn't get away. I really appreciated that you went. It meant a
I
lot.
did actually get to make it, so I was happy about that. Yes.
yeah,
Uh,
that's all I, yeah.
Another reason for us to get that Teasdale Park developed so we can work in collaboration with Sagamok and have some things there for the children and the community members. And it's a way we can work together on soil that's close to them and us at the same time.
Okay, be it resolved, the time is 7:02 PM and this meeting be adjourned till the next regular meeting of the call of the chair. Mover and a seconder?
I'll move, Kevin.
Kevin will move it there. Seconder?
Dale,
Dale, Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith?
In favor?
Pat?
Pat's in favor.
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl?
In favor.
Dale?
in favor.
Motion carried.
Is there anyone online there that has